Welcome to the Love Intervention. I'm Pastor Evans.
I'm Mrs. Evans.
So today's conversation is about security in relationships. We need you to hit that like button. And then we need you to hit that subscribe button.
Subscribe.
Matter of fact, don't forget to hit that bell. Ba-bing. So you'll know when our next video is released. So our guests today will introduce themselves in a moment. But what I want you to know is we would love to have you engaged in our conversations. You could do that in the comments, or you can contact us at mail@kohani.org. Why don't you send us some questions that you might be interested in, and we'll see if we can get them done on the show. All right, let's get into the conversation.
And today we have an extra special show for you. You can see we have a couple of guests that we're excited to have here. We have Miss Donisha, who is a Jane of all trades. She does a whole bunch of things. I'll let her tell you about herself. Go ahead, ma'am.
Jane of all trades, huh? Well, mother, singer, actress, child of God, sometimes decorator, sometimes chef, sometimes counselor, a friend, all of the above.
Hey, man. See, that's why I wanted you to do it, because I wouldn't have started with mother, even though you have an awesome, what's that boy, 16 now or 15?
15.
15. Oh, I'll put you out there. I'm sorry. So you have an awesome kid who's taller than you now, which is great. And you do a whole bunch of other stuff.
Beat them down.
I say that on the tape. The people will come get you. You got to be careful.
Right. But she's a fantastic songwriter, singer, actress, been all everywhere doing all kinds of things.
Awesome. All right. And then we have with us M.N.N.I, who's an awesome brother in his own right. Go ahead and tell them about yourself, brother.
Wow. Man, so yeah, I'm a teacher, foremost, I think, a minister, father, filmmaker, the president of Flight 417 Records, which is a independent Christian record label with a couple of artists, and student, man. Mostly it's a student, man. Just learning. A theologian, scholar of God's word.
Amen. Amen. So I know when we were kind of thinking about the pairings for these episodes, and this particular one is a good one. We're talking about security and trust in relationships. And I've had conversations with, and my wife has had conversations with both of these folks, and they are not shy about their opinions. So let's get into the topics for today with our icebreaker question.
Okay. So the icebreaker for today is, when should the conversation of personal finance be brought up in a romantic relationship?
That's a good question. When should finances be brought up in a relationship? I would say probably the first time the guy forgets his wallet at dinner. No, I'm just, I think it should be brought up when they are at a place where it may be getting serious. It may be getting a little bit more. They're kind of learning more about each other, and you start to get to a point where you realize this might be somebody that I could see myself having a future with. I think it's kind of dangerous to step out and bring up that subject a little too quickly, too early in the relationship, especially with all the stigma around gold diggers and sugar daddies and, brothers looking for women to take care of them and all kind of different things that, kind of are like red lights and that people think about when they're going into a relationship. So I think you kind of have to have a place where there is has been at least a little bit of trust built up and a little bit of personability. So I would say, somewhere when it's getting kind of serious, when you're thinking like maybe this should be an exclusive thing.
Okay.
All right. That's good. You ran the gamut there with the gold diggers and the men trying to look for women to take care of them, and sugar daddies and sugar mamas. So we don't,
Right.
got to make sure we be careful.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Donisha.
I think that it should be talked about. I mean, not immediately, but quickly.
Okay.
Because romance without finance is a nuisance. And so it's like, you want to date somebody that is kind of like on the same level as you. Like, I personally cannot date anyone that does not have like any money. Like, if you're struggling, you're not dateable right now.
Okay.
And that's just my personal opinion. Like, you got to get some other things in order, like in your life, and not saying like you got to take me out. It's not even about that. But like, if it's things that, even if you want to go somewhere nice, and okay, I treat, but I can't keep treating every time. You know what I mean? And coming out the pocket, and then you have other responsibilities. Like, yeah, people want people in their life, and that's how you could really see if a person is really there for you to really get to know you, or if they are to get your money, or if they are trying to just see what they could get out of you. You say, I want somebody to be honest with me, totally honest. Like, I don't mind meeting you at Starbucks for the first time to kind of get to know you. Like, you don't have to take me to Ruth Chris right off the bat. Like, I'm not a steak person anyway, but like, let me know what's going on, so I can have the decision on if I want to proceed or not. Because when I'm kind of feeling you, and then now I know that your finances is like jacked, or it'll kind of show that it's kind of all been on me. Like, I need to know that.
Right. So you're fine with like, let's go date Dutch like 1 or 2 times, but then after that we need to like figure this thing out.
Well, I just depend. Like, if you're asking me, like if I say, hey, M.N.N.I, you want to go out? Like, I think the person that asks should treat, but I don't mind paying for myself, because I don't want to be sitting at the table looking blind, crippled, and crazy at all. So I always make sure I got my money.
Right. How do you feel about that, M.N.N.I?
I mean, I think it just depends on how intricate you're going to be in the conversation, especially early on. Like, I mean, it's of course you want to know these things. Like, that's common conversation. Like, so, what do you do for a living? Brother's like, I'm in between jobs.
Right.
That's an indication. But, if somebody says, what do you do for a living? And like me personally, I say, well, I'm a supervisor at IEHP. They say, oh, okay, well, if the next question is like, well, what's your annual income? That's probably the last day. Like, you know what I mean? So it depends on how intricate we get.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's certain things that, I definitely think have to kind of go on before, we get into the details of those things. But I mean, as far as wanting to know, like, hey, do you have a job? What are your ambitions? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? That kind of stuff is, I understand 100%. You know what I mean? But it's I think it's like when if it's too heavily focused on the finances, especially like, especially if you're getting down to like the numbers and the figures and stuff like that early on, that can definitely scare some people off.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. So you probably shouldn't like be engaged and then go to the bank with your fiance and figure out that they can't get an ATM card. That's probably bad.
Right.
That's probably bad,
right. You shouldn't like be 4 months from your wedding and find out that they got hell no checking.
Right. You can't. That's probably not the thing to do. I'm not saying that happened to anybody on this screen, but I'm just saying
it definitely happened to us.
Right. But I was. To be clear, I was the one that couldn't get the ATM card. My wife was fine. All right, that was our warm-up question. We're going to get into the topics for today. Today's topic is security and trust in relationships. Now, we have some quotes, we have some questions, and we're going to start with security. So that's where we are right now.
Okay. All right. So security in relationships. We're going to start with the definition. And it's the definition from dictionary.com. And it is defined as freedom from care, anxiety, or doubt, well-founded confidence. So it's freedom from care. This is security. Freedom from care, freedom from anxiety, freedom from doubt, or well-founded confidence. And then here's I was preparing for this episode, and so I like to do a little bit of reading. And I read an article from Thrive Global, and it reads, at the heart of things, security in a relationship is all about support. Those in a romantic partnership should be able to lean on each other when they're feeling down or stressed. When you and your partner support each other, it leads to longevity, trust, and vulnerability, which are all signs of security. And so our question today is, what are your thoughts on this? Have you experienced being supported or being willing to support a romantic partner? And did this lead to a better relationship?
Yeah, I think I've been on both ends of that. I've been supported, emotionally and with my goals and my dreams and relationships. And I've definitely offered and been willing to support those things. I think that security, it's a huge part of a relationship, because that's kind of what the thing that you can hang your hat on.
Okay.
That's the thing that the security, like you said, the definition that you gave, like freedom from fear and anxiety. What makes us fearful and is kind of the not knowing, what happens tomorrow, what happens the next day, the inconsistency. When you see that somebody's character is upright and their commitment to you is sound, and and it offers you freedom. I think also when you're dealing with security, it's about freedom to be yourself, because the opposite of security is, right? So we're feeling like, okay, it's certain things that I can't share, I can't do. If I tell them this, they may judge me this way or look at me different. Security, I think, also offers the gift of being able to be yourself and be comfortable in your own skin in in an environment that's not toxic or judgmental. You know what I mean? But it's supportive, and it's always looking out for the best interests of the person. You know what I mean? And I think so. I think that's a huge thing in relationships, and I think that's one of I think it's one of the hardest things to kind of develop too, because it's consistency. You know what I mean? It's something that has to be consistent, and then it's if you lose that security, it's one of the hardest things to get back.
Right.
Right.
Yes, I've been on both sides, and it does lead to a better relationship, because you want the person that you're with, you want to be able to not depend on them, but you want their support, you want their encouragement, you want the love, you want the inspiration. And so security to me means really, like he said, being at peace, really being transparent, being able to be open. And I have been on both sides, and it didn't last, but it was for the time being, it was great,
Right.
It was great for that 15 minutes.
Wait, don't do that.
I was just asking.
No, what he say? It was great for 15 minutes.
I said it was great for that 15 minutes.
That 15 minutes when I supposed to believe in you and pump you up and all that, you're like, yeah, this is all right. And then,
right. You remember that moment we were secure?
Right. Wasn't that all right? You know what that is? Yep. And then, things happen and it kind of fades. But I don't want to say he, but
M.N.N.I.
M.N.N.I.
Like he said, like M said, it is about being able to really trust that person that you're with, and really being able to be yourself, being free, being able to voice your opinions on things without feeling judged. And when you think of security, like, other than the elderly people that work at Walmart, like when you look at a security guard, at a club or anything, like, I think secure is strong. And it's when I look at like a security guard, if I walk in anywhere and I see like a big buff security guard, I'm like, oh, I know I'm gonna be all right. Like, I know I feel safe. And so that's what I want to be in a relationship. I want to feel like I am secure and I'm safe in the relationship.
All right.
That's good. Good stuff. All right. So look, we got another question coming. Here's a quote from Thrive Global. I think it's the same article we were working on. It says, when you and your partner can't lean on each other, disconnection will ensue. Disconnection breeds fear, anger, and conflict. And I think both you guys kind of touched on that in your answers. Like, being disconnected is not what you want in your relationship. So So question is, in your opinion, is it your job to help your partner feel secure? Why or why not? So in a romantic relationship, is it your job to help your partner feel secure?
I don't think I'm sorry. I don't think it's my job. I don't think it's my job, but I think when you really care about somebody, you automatically want to make them feel, again, safe, make them feel loved, make them feel comfortable. And so it's not like I'm coming in trying to save the day, but if I see something that somebody is struggling with, it's like, I want to give that encouragement. I want to let you know that, no, you good, be confident, be strong, believe in yourself. If I meet somebody and he got a big old forehead and he insecure about that, like, I want to be like, no, like, you got a lot of knowledge. Like, you are good. You know what I'm saying?
You are a brainiac. I can see it.
You running things
like,
around.
My man is smart,
Right.
So, like, you
He's strong.
want to be able to depend on that person, but it's not, I don't think it's my job. But if you love a person and you care about a person, it's going to automatically come out to me.
Okay.
That's a cold shot with the forehead. I agree 100% with Donisha. I don't think that it's my job to make my partner feel secure in the relationship, but I do think that the job that I do, my character, my actions, should allow for them to have security in the relationship. So I think that the way that I conduct myself, I think the way that I respect her, the way that I respect myself, I think the attention, the compassion, the empathy that I show, the understanding, the forgiveness that I show, I think the willingness to communicate and not judge. I think all of those things that I have to bring to the table to make a relationship work should be able to provide a source from which she can pull at and feel more secure, at least about the relationship. You know what I mean? Sometimes the insecurities that we have and those things, like Donisha was saying, it could come from the fact that your forehead is huge. You know what I mean? And there's not really much I can do about that, in the sense that, you've been teased your whole life. Everybody called you five heads instead of four heads your whole life. So you kind of feeling that way. But it's like, what the best that I can really do about that is let them know that, look, I care about you, and I see value in you beyond any of the flaws that you feel like you have, right? And the way you do that is not by saying that to a person, but it's showing it to a person.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if it's like, if I'm telling my girl, you're enough, you good, but every time we go out, my eyes are wandering, like, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, that doesn't do anything for her security. But when she sees that my focus is on her, that's where I'm at. I'm saying I'm doing what I say and saying what I do. that should be able to help her draw, some of that energy to be able to feel more secure in the relationship and ultimately in herself.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead, wife.
Oh no, well, I was gonna. Go ahead.
Oh, you know what I was gonna say? Listening to your answers, both of you said it's not your job to make your partner feel secure, but everything about your answer says that it's your job to make your partner feel secure. Both of them, and that's what I wanted to just kind of redirect a little bit, because you said, because M.N.N.I said is everything that he does should provide security for his partner, and Donisha said basically the same thing. I need to be able to support and show love in that way, so that they can feel secure, or so that they can feel comfortable. So, is it your job?
So let me.
I'm not trying to make you change your answer, but it sounds like that. Go ahead.
Let me qualify it. So I'm saying it's my job to have integrity in this relationship. Right. So if I have integrity and so I'm walking in that integrity. Look, I made this commitment to you. This is what it is. But she has, let's say, drama from the past, being cheated on, all kind of things. And every time I look at my phone, she's like, "Who's that? Who's calling?" Listen, I see. Oh, okay. I know you're cheating. I know it's this. I know it's that. It's this. Okay, look, it's nothing I can do about that. It's not.
Just give her your phone.
I have to go in there and redirect that thing that you're dealing with. You said, what did I say?
No. She said what I said. I said you could just give her your phone.
Oh, so I mean, hey, that's cool. But here's the thing: when she has the phone, and I'm not saying everybody, but I'm saying if I give her the phone, and then she's like, "Well, my last boyfriend had a secret cell. I ain't stupid. This may be the one that you gave me the business phone, but where's the pleasure phone at?" You know what I mean? And you got those, and I'm not saying that's everybody, but I'm saying that kind of deep-rooted insecurity, that's not really our job to fix. It's not that's not, we don't even have the power to fix that. That's stuff you got to deal with based on your own forgiveness and and understanding your own value and kind of facing some of those demons you've already dealt with, because it's people that have been in great relationships that they didn't even the whole relationship was ruined because they took brought the past relationship in it, and it's good. And I know some brothers personally that as good as they were, and some sisters, as good as they were to that person, it was like it just that person was not in the position to receive that kind of love because of everything they had dealt with and the baggage that they had brought with them.
Yeah. Right. And Donisha said, I want you to go. I'm sorry. Why? Donisha says they weren't healed. I heard you say that. I don't know if you want to say any more on that or.
No, they weren't healed, and so that's why a lot of the stuff that they come into a new relationship expecting that person to kind of heal them, and then when something happens, or like it's trigger, like he said, like with the phone, like it could be her man did something, he was cheating or whatever, and so now this dude is showing you, look, he's being open, he's being transparent, but because you have not healed from what you've been through for so many years, it don't matter what he does. It don't matter if he lays all the phones out. It doesn't matter if he shows you his DMs, his Facebook messages, any of that, to say, look, you got me, and that's it, I'm not doing nothing. It's still going to be something because she has not taken time for herself to heal from her trauma. And that's bad.
Right. And that's what I meant when I'm saying not my responsibility. I'm talking about exactly what Donisha's talking about. It's like, I can't heal you from that trauma. Now, I mean, as far as I do believe I have a responsibility in making sure you're secure in the relationship. Yo, your phone went off at 2:00 in the morning. I don't just turn over like, hey, oh, well, it's my phone. Oh, like, no, that was that was one of those Facebook game invites. See, you know what I mean? Whatever. That kind of transparency and stuff. By all means, I think that that's something that we should do. But I'm talking about those deeper rooted things that that has to be handled by the individual.
Right. Wife, did you want to say something?
No.
Okay. So really quickly, since we got to that point, I'm gonna read one more thing, and then we're gonna move along. Some people, same article, some people need more reassurance than others. If you leave them waiting for a message or a date, they might begin to grow anxious. If you're inconsistent with your affections, it will breed bitterness. How can you help your partner feel more secure? And I kind of feel like both of you guys answered that a little bit. I don't know if you want to say any more on that last question. How can you help your partner feel more secure? Even though I kind of prodded you a little bit with your answers, even though it's not necessarily your job or responsibility.
Right.
What can we do to help our partners feel more secure? I think you guys kind of answered that, but if you want to say more on it, go ahead.
And really, it's about whether or not you feel like it's part of it's part of your relationship, or it's part of what you say that you're going to give to this person as a relationship to provide them some reassurance. And kind of like what you were talking about
Absolutely.
with the phone, like are you going to be, or would you provide like reassurance to them? Would you be consistent? Like if they need you to be more consistent, I don't know, for whatever reason, are you going to meet your obligations? Are you going to do what you said you were going to do? Or would you just like, there's been times in the past where, you know, you go somewhere and like you're there waiting 30, 40 minutes and you never hear from the person. And you're like, you know, and then this happens again and again. And you're like, you know,
Right.
I really was feeling you, but every time we supposed to meet up, every third time you don't show up and you call me 2 hours later. Like,
Right.
you know, so that type of situation will require some type of reassurance. And so that's what we're asking.
Well, see,
Well,
that's a pattern. That
Right.
that what you just described is like an inconsistent pattern. Like, you know, you leave me hanging, okay, and you keep leaving me hanging, and then you not like respecting me by or considering me by like calling me, letting me know what's going on or anything like that. Like that's a pattern, and it's like if you see that right now, get your Nikes on and start running because it's going to
Right.
continue. You know what I mean? But like things happen. Let's say he is consistent and he has been reassuring me, and then it something happens where it was a date and then it like he running late or something. Like as long as his character, like M.N.N.I said, like as long as his character really speaks for himself and he's really making it a point to prove to you like no, this is what it is. I'm sorry I'm running late. This is, you know, what happened and all that, and I'll try, because people make mistakes, so you know I'll try to, you know, let it not happen again or something like that. But if it's just inconsistency and inconsideration, like I'm a big person on consideration. If you can, consideration to me is intent thought, right? And so when a person really considers me, he's not going to really do just anything and just keep doing it because he knows how I'm going to feel about that. You know, when you really consider a person, you just don't do anything. You don't do anything to intentionally hurt them or try to make them think that it's something that it's not. And so, yeah, no, a pattern, but as long as you are staying consistent with trying to prove and reassure that no, this is for real. I was in traffic, or I, was running late, ran out of gas, something. As long as it ain't no pattern of that.
All right. I agree with Donisha. I think, like I saw one of you guys' earlier shows when you were talking about the love languages.
Okay.
One of my favorite shows, actually. And we're when you're dealing with the love languages and kind of getting to know what your partner like needs and what they thrive on. I think that in a relationship, one of the ways that we can help our partner feel more secure is by learning about our partner, finding out what they want, because it's one of the things that I think really causes disconnect in a relationship is when a person is only willing to love you or care about you the way that they're willing to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like you never, never do this, and I've heard this since the beginning of the relationship. You never take me out anywhere, and it's like, yo, as soon as I get off of work, I bring you flowers every week on Friday. How can you say I don't love you? And
Right.
you know what I mean? And it's like I'm arguing, like, well, look at this, look what I do. I do this and I do that, right? When she's obviously saying, well, you know, these are some of the things that I want or that I need or that help me to feel secure. You know what I mean? And so I think I have to that we have to learn those things, and that love in itself is really a selfless act of sacrifice, and
Okay.
you have to love is to give. So it's like, okay, what is it that she wants? What is it that she needs or he wants, he needs? You know what I mean? And then to be willing to do that. And I think that would help a person or in a relationship help to see that, you know, or to even feel secure that the partner has enough consideration, like Donisha was saying, to get to know you and try to do those things that you know makes you feel good. You know what I mean? And make
That's good.
That's can I just add one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I was just
Right.
having this conversation yesterday with my friend, and I told her how I know, and it's mostly on me, I believe, because I said, you know, I know him. And then in that moment I said, you know, I know him, but he doesn't know me. And so I think, like, I try my best because I like learning about people.
Okay.
I love the getting to know people, like where people come from, like how they grew up. I don't know. I've just always loved to learn about people and their personalities, and so I make that my intent to really like pay attention to what people like and what they don't like, the things that they say, how they react to different things. And I think because I'm so big, I just naturally give and I naturally support and all that. And I pour into, you know, sometimes people are just selfish and they just kind of like kick back, like, yeah, let me keep receiving. And
Right.
they never want to really get to know me, you know what I mean? And so all those little bitty things, like I could tell a person about themselves and like, oh, how you know? And I'm like, because I really am trying, like, I'm learning you. And so that's good what he said, because it really getting to know and to learn a person is very important.
Right.
Yeah, that's huge.
So, husband,
Yes,
what did you think about the conversation?
it was wonderful.
You know what? I thought that this conversation about security in relationships, I felt like it went really well. Felt like we had some good perspective on the topic. I hope that you, our audience, will enjoy it.
Yeah. And don't forget, you can contact us, send your answers to the questions, or send us other questions. And what's the email address, woman?
At mail@kohani.org. Mail@kohani.org.
Right. So I guess that's it. That's all.
That's it. That's all. See you next time.